Hey everybody, I'm Alex McClellan, and this is my lovely brother Mason. We're the Backtrack Brothers. We're going back and we're watching classic movies and determining how they hold up now. Mason is the YouTube expert and the editing czar, and I'm the goofy guy who gets to stand in front of the camera and tell you how we reacted to these movies. We're hoping that our humor, passion, and just general love for each other will cause you to go out and find these movies for yourself and share them with your friends and loved ones. The movie we're covering today is Kill Bill, Volume 1, written by Quentin Tarantino. Directed by Quentin Tarantino. Who gets my dick hard? Quentin Tarantino. This was initially released on October 10th, 2003, and currently you can stream it on HBO Max. A former assassin, referred to simply as the Bride, wakes from a 4-year-long coma after a man named Bill attempts to murder her on her wedding day. She makes a commitment to get revenge on all the people that took away the last 4 years of her life, and so much more. Volume 1 covers the beginning of her journey. The reason we picked this movie is because Mason had never seen a Tarantino movie before. I think the Kill Bill series is a perfect introduction into the Tarantino universe. At the time this movie came out, honestly, I was Mason's age, and I was watching shit like Charlie's Angels Full Throttle and Dumb and Dumber.
My house is full of shit! He shit everywhere! Look what he did, he shit all over the wall!
That's a lot of shit. This movie showed me that you could play with things like time, space, chapters, characters, and mold it into however you want, as opposed to having the normal, straight, boring movies that you get fed from Disney your whole childhood. When it comes to the CGI and effects in this movie, really, it's all over the top. The blood, the gore, everything just really is eye-catching. The blood shoots out of people's bodies like you took a shit stab at a Capri Sun. But you know what? It fits Tarantino's style. It fits what he's paying homage to, the old kung fu movies that had that same type of effect and old black and white grain. I mean, yeah, I get it. Sometimes in this movie, the blood literally looks like red Gatorade. But here's the thing, red Gatorade tastes like medicine. Considering this was Mason's first Tarantino film, he simply was not ready.
I thought I was ready. It wasn't that scary.
No, you weren't. Back to editing. A lot of the film techniques and different strategies that Tarantino used in the making of this movie, for example, the wire axe or the fast zoom into character faces, they're lifted directly from Tarantino's influences, talking specifically about kung fu movies from the 50s through the 70s that were produced by the Shaw Brothers studio. These videos can include old movies like The Five Deadly Venoms and One-Armed Swordsman. This combination of influences I thought was really interesting. It's something that you don't typically see in mainstream movies. But Mason, on the other hand, you know, he was kind of being a Mason, on the other hand, thought it was a bit unnecessary and felt it could be distracting and confusing, which, you know, if you don't get the reference, I can understand. Though this movie came out in the early 2000s, if it came out today, I think it would be just as well received. Tarantino does such a great job mixing style and genres and time periods that it's really a timeless movie. To me, that comes down to Tarantino movies oozing style from their picturesque pores. From smooth transitions to stylish shots, there's never a moment where your senses aren't dazzled. Tarantino goes from shooting in color to black and white to shooting only shadows, masterfully changing aesthetics based on the mood, environment, and situation. Some of the most memorable moments in the movie come during stretches where there is no dialogue at all, because the visuals and soundtracks are so impressive. The dialogue isn't needed because the needle drops are always on point, matching the energy and spirit of the scene they're layered over. Specifically, the music, or lack thereof at times, during key combat scenes plays with your heart rate and forces you to acknowledge either the exhilaration or the tension of the moment. As with many Tarantino movies, this movie does segment scenes into chapters and plays with time throughout the whole story. This forces you to put together the full narrative if you want to capture all of the little details, which makes this a movie that's really, really rewatchable. Though this may turn off some viewers that lean more towards mindless entertainment, Mason and I both found it to be a very positive, creative decision. As is typical with a Tarantino film, you're gonna find plenty of stars sprinkled throughout the whole film, and you're gonna have some superb character acting. You're gonna say to yourself, who is that? Some of my favorite character acting is in Volume 2, but Volume 1 has some real stellar standouts. Hey, Mr. Manson, you're so manly and scrub, you can shoot me full of rock salt any day. Uma Thurman, aka the Bride, is the epitome of a badass in this film. The strong, independent female lead may be in vogue now, but at the time, she really revolutionized the game. In my head, she is the gold standard for female kick-ass heroes. Though there's plenty of unrealistic aspects to this film, I think Tarantino does a really good job of making the bride really relatable and transferring her trauma onto you. Trust me, by the end of this film, you're gonna totally understand why she wants to kill Bill. This isn't some kind of soulless cash grab that's looking to just capitalize on the moment. The film grips you from the moment it begins. I can't imagine someone watching the first 15 minutes and not finishing this film. The suspense carries over from each following scene as you get more and more background into the tragedy that occurred to the bride. You get a chance to dive into each character's history, and by the end, you have various blend of half answers and half truths that perfectly propels you into Volume 2. Prepare for the monologues! There are many monologues. Though these are performed by great actors and truly highlight their abilities, there are plenty of expository moments in this film that require you to listen intently to get the full picture. This is not the type of movie you want to be in and out of, or have in the background while you play on your phone for the first viewing. There also are a decent amount of subtitles throughout the movie, as many characters speak Japanese. In this video series, we're introducing the Hold Up Ability Scale. The scale goes from a movie that doesn't hold up in any way, shape, or form, we're gonna call that a wet noodle, and then on the other end of the spectrum, it's gonna be a movie that holds up perfectly in every way, shape, and form. We're gonna call that a steel beam. For Kill Bill Volume 1, we're giving it a toothbrush. My favorite number! If you're looking for a movie with a lot of action, blood, witty dialogue, martial arts, and a little necrophilia, this is for you. Make sure to like, subscribe, and ring that bell to get notified of our dope content. Even comment what type of movies you want to see. Maybe we could watch them together. Who knows? Fucking weird.